Good morning, everyone. My name is Kathleen Ross. I am a fractional CMO. I have spent the majority of my career working as an in-house vice president of marketing and creative leader. I am also now a fractional CMO working as a consultant primarily for businesses in the fashion, beauty, and wellness industries, although I have experience working with the legal field, real estate, many different industries. I'm also a certified AI consultant. And as we know, this is the moment, right? This is the word on everyone's lips. And what I'm most passionate about is my work as a mentor and an advocate for women in business, for the future of creatives, and for technology. I have an exciting agenda for you today. I'm going to start with the fundamentals. I really want to talk a lot about the business applications so that we can think about how our students are going to be entering the workforce. Primarily, I'm going to be speaking a lot about marketing, but I'm also going to note that many things that we'll be speaking about are applicable across all industries. So we're going to do an introduction, right? What is an LLM? And very important, what is happening with AI and the job market. We're also going to be talking about consumer trends. We need to know what the consumer market is primed for when it comes to AI. And we're also going to be talking about trends and advancements within the AI space. Personalization, automation, all the buzzwords, I'll demystify them for you. And my most exciting section is about AI and beyond, to infinity and beyond, to AI and beyond. These are my future predictions. Okay, so first and foremost, what is AI? Well, we've all heard that it's artificial intelligence, but it's actually a study, a section, a field of computer science. And AI is not new, although we've been focusing so much around AI lately with the advancements of ChatGPT and other LLMs. AI has been around for a long time. And AI is the systems that are capable of performing tasks that are typically required human intelligence previously. These tasks include learning, reasoning, problem solving, understanding, put a pin in that word, understanding natural language, and recognizing patterns, underscore patterns. And they adapt to new or evolving situations. Now, you may have heard the term LLM. What does LLM mean? It means large language model. So ChatGPT is an LLM, right? And this is an advanced artificial technology intelligence system that's designed to understand, generate, and interact with human language at scale based on extensive training, underscore preset data. Very important to understand that this is confined data, right? And it's LLMs are not truly understanding, right? They're recognizing patterns. So there's two different types of AI, generally speaking, hotly debated, okay? There's narrow AI, weak AI, and then there's general AI, strong AI. And as you might notice, only one of these is attached to a mythical creature here, which is the unicorn. And that's not just because AI companies are unicorns in the tech space, right? But it's because this does not truly exist yet. Complete human understanding through intelligence, AI intelligence, does not fully exist yet. So that's a good thing, right? This is good for us because we have some time before the robots truly take over, okay? But narrow AI actually includes a bevy of different things that we know about already: machine learning, robotics, neural networks, natural language processing. Again, LLMs is under natural language processing. And you'll see some of our friends here, ChatGPT. I don't spend a day not on ChatGPT. Bard, Claude, Gemini, Copilot, you name it, all these different systems, all part of LLMs. You'll also see image generation. Image generation is very closely related to LLMs because they are often text to image, right? But they're actually a little bit different. So under image generation, the primary tools that we're using are DALL-E and Midjourney, but you'll start to see even in Canva, they have image generation, some really great tools. Many of the images you'll see in my presentation, I created in Canva. The global job market, we've all heard Doomsday, right? Well, I'm here to give you some good news. According to Udemy's trend report for 2024, AI is predicted to create as many jobs as it displaces. Good news. And in terms of our global GDP, it has potential benefits of up to $15 trillion by 2030. So we're going to make some money too. This is good stuff here, right? This is from PwC. So the future is actually bright, even on days where we hear doomsday is coming. What about AI being cheaper? We've heard about layoffs. We've heard about things in the job market. Is AI truly cheaper to replace employees? Well, a group of MIT researchers actually found that replacing human workers with AI is more expensive than keeping human employees in many cases. This was actually a study done on 1,000 different tasks, visual inspection tasks, over 800 different occupations. Okay. And only 23% of them today, these tasks would be financially responsible or justifiable to automate with AI because of the high cost of the systems. So this is actually, again, more good news because this means we have time. We have time to understand the technology. We have time to iterate. We have time to create policies, and we have time to upskill. Now, I have to be fully transparent, no gatekeeping here. AI will replace some jobs, and I like to say, more importantly, some skills. And according to tech.co, of the 10 most vulnerable jobs to be replaced by AI are designers, copywriters, content creators, and customer service. There's others, but I pulled these out specifically because in my career, these are departments and skills that have either reported to me or I worked very closely with. I was a designer by trade. That was my first career. Copywriters I've had on every single one of my teams. And I know from colleagues and friends who own agencies that they have already started to replace some of their copywriters and do layoffs because of AI technology. Now, the copywriters who stay on were the ones who adapted the technology. So again, enough doomsday. Back to the good stuff. AI, as we learn, is going to create new jobs and new skills, right? So AI maintenance is a huge, entire new job market that's going to be created because AI maintenance currently exists, but probably only in like a robotics team or in the tech team. We will now need AI maintenance in every single department because almost every single department will be disrupted. So this is a whole new job, whole new opportunity. Also, data management. Data management is going to change radically, as is computer science. But this is not to scare anyone. These are great fields to get into because although we don't know how much they're going to change, they will absolutely be critical skills for the future. Data management with AI can take unstructured data that we've never been able to manage before and create it into structured data that we can actually analyze it. And my favorite is the concept I call the new creative. As a creative person myself, as soon as I started to see image generation that can be done at scale and such incredible quality, a little bit of fear crept in, right? We have to acknowledge that. But the truth is, with execution being automated with AI and being able to work at a speed we've never been able to work at before, it allows us to go a little bit higher level, solve bigger problems that only humans can solve. So I like to see this as a huge opportunity for creativity to evolve completely. So, what's the key? If you remember one thing from today, I'm giving it to you early. It's that this is the time to upskill. It's the time for us to upskill as educators, as business owners, as professionals. And it's very important that we facilitate upskilling for our students. So this is the key. If anybody wants to know, this is my key. Upskilling is here today. Luckily, we are in a educational institution that has the opportunity to bring this to our students. Okay, so I want to know, show of hands, do you trust AI advice? Anybody? Okay, a few. Trust is a strong word. Thank you. Okay, we're a little weary. Probably healthy. Okay. Well, what about consumers? Do consumers trust AI? Well, a study showed 73% of global consumers place trust in AI advice, specifically in financial advice, medical advice, and relationship advice. Eh. So if someone wants to know what to do with their money, where should I put my money in the stock market, what to do if I've stubbed my toe, or how to break up with my boyfriend, they're going to AI for this information. Now we know AIs, especially LLMs, are based on set data, correct? So although there's probably some good information in there, they're certainly not trustworthy from a psychology standpoint to give you any advice about dating or medical advice. But we all know people go to WebMD anyway. So anyway, it's not the end of the world. But the market's ready for AI. They trust AI. Now, how many of us think that we can tell if an image is AI generated? Right? There's like maybe some subtle nuances that you're like, this doesn't look quite right. Yeah. Sometimes. Yeah. Sometimes for sure. Okay. Yeah. There's something just not quite right. Well, a recent study by the American Psychological Association actually took human art and AI art, put them next to each other, and asked the participants if they could determine what was human art and what was AI art. And dun, 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 only 35% of them could actually tell the difference. It was interesting though, because of the times that they were correct, they couldn't actually describe what cued them into what was human about the art and what was AI generated. And then anecdotally, fundamentally, there is still a preference towards human generated art. I've also done this with beauty images and fashion images as well, and it's pretty undetectable. We actually have photorealism now that can be achieved with AI image generation. So, what does all this mean? The big buzzword is disruption, right? We know that everything that we know will be continuing to change, but that's a good thing. It's an opportunity. So, what should companies and institutions do about this disruption? I have some tips. I have some ideas. Okay, number one, you have to have a position, right? This needs to be something that the university, here, my recommendation is to have a position on AI. Also, from that position, we need to create policies. It's okay if it's going to change. Guess what? The world changes. It's okay. We're going to iterate on it, but we should have something that we're going to start with. We also need to create a culture of innovation, right? We want to be one of the universities that is at the forefront of this technology. So instead of shaming, we need to adapt, we need to encourage, we need to create psychological safety for our students to be able to use the technology. In fact, we even need to incentivize the use of AI. I had some interns over the summer and they were in high school, and I would have them do a project for me, real world business case. And I would say, give me the answers. Show me what you would write on your own. I'm going to trust you to do that. Then I want to see what you prompt the technology to do. And I want to see your final iteration in the output so that we can compare the two. Because what I'm most interested in is the idea and the utilization of the technology. Now, of course, in education, it's a little different, right? But if we think about what the next iteration of education looks like, technology is not going anywhere. So we have to embrace it and incentivize it. Now, we also have to create task force. My recommendation would be to have a task force of faculty, but also a task force of students, right? Because they're seeing things, learning things that we might not even catch up on. They're also on the other side of the table. And we have some amazing students here that I've met that are all about integrity. That's something that's so special about this university that I found. So I would have those two interact. Again, creating a culture, incentivizing AI, the use of AI. Now, trends and advancements. What's happening in the marketing world? What's happening in general consumerism? I have three different concepts I want to cover quickly. Customer experience, marketing automation, and my favorite, branding with specialized agents, very top secret agents. Okay, customer experience. All of us as global consumers, good news, we're going to have better interactivity with the brands and companies that we love and interact with, because we actually have more advanced chatbot functionality. How many of us have ever chatted on a website, texted or called and just been like, agent, agent, help, 0000000, right? All the time. It's so annoying. Well, now with this increased technology using LLMs, we can actually have conversations based on a custom-based knowledge with a company to get better answers, right? And then on the company side, saving money because there's going to be less minimizing of escalations. Huge, huge opportunity. Doesn't mean that customer service is going to be replaced. They can also enable this technology. But from a user standpoint, I don't want to have to say agent 100 times. I just want the answer, please. All right, enhancing user experience. We're going to see improved customization and personalization, better recommendations on ads, better recommendations on site of products that we like. We're finally going to see a virtual try-on that actually works and isn't weird for retail companies. Very cool. And we're going to be able to use technology as companies to help facilitate movement through the sales funnel. Really good news for companies. Now, marketing automation. As we saw, what AI can do with image generation, from a marketing standpoint, we can automatically and seamlessly create emails, social media content, entire campaigns. I don't know if you've seen any of the new advancements with video content. It's completely undetectable, wild, okay? And so much more, all with AI, huge speed to market. Also, we can have advertising on autopilot. How many of us are on our social media in our general lives? We get ads that are horribly not for us. And we're like, who thought this was a good idea, right? Well, now with AI, we can actually do improved customer segmentation and really, really cool. They can make real-time decisions. We used to have entire huge departments to make sure we could change ads. It was a little bit more manual than I want to admit. So this is really good news as well, better customer experience. Now, specialized marketing agents, right? Top secret agents. So how many of us have used ChatGPT or another program and we've gotten garbage responses that sound nothing like us, right? It's a tapestry. We're delving into something. Things like we don't actually use those words. I mean, we do. Like when I used to use my SAT words, I would feel so smart. Now I'm like, no, I don't want people to think that this was AI. So with specialized agents, something called GPTs within ChatGPT or custom knowledge bases, I can actually, and do for my clients, create agents that actually know about my brand, know my voice. I've trained ChatGPT how to speak like me, in many cases, how to think like me. So I can upload large amounts of information to ChatGPT and have ChatGPT call on that information automatically. Yeah, already existence, already happens. I have them for all my clients. I have them for myself for different concepts. Now, iterating on that, companies can actually create custom agents for specific skill sets. So in my world, I would have an agent in ChatGPT. I use ChatGPT. There's many other tools as well for each of my sub departments: marketing strategy, project management, creative, et cetera, et cetera. I could take that team's knowledge base and their tasks, upload that to ChatGPT to create a custom agent, GPT, and then they can use that within themselves to improve their work and improve their speed. Very cool. Now, what's beyond? 3 concepts for you. AI workforce. There's a little teaser from the agents. AI counterculture and AI approachability. First, teams of specialized agents, AI workforce with automation. Now, you saw all of those agents. Now, what if they are automatically all talking to each other? That's huge possibilities. Meaning, if I put in one text prompt to say, create a new skincare line for me based on seaweed, okay, for this consumer base, that could prompt my marketing strategist to then automatically prompt my project manager to simultaneously prompt my social media team, all AI, right? My AI social media team, my AI copywriter, my AI image generation. I could actually have an entire strategy for a company, a new brand, a new product, even down to the package design, the actual product. Tell me what to put into it based on research. This could happen within one single prompt. This isn't quite here yet. I've seen some tools that are close, but it's not quite here yet, but it will be, right? So what's next after that? Well, the big conversation is around an AI manager agent. So this is actually an AI managing other AI. Okay. Did I go too matrix on you? Yeah. Yeah, we're deep in the matrix right now. So we're going to be creating skill set for an AI manager to manage other AI tasks with AI specialized agents. Again, not there yet, but we'll see it. We'll see it. These are some future ideas. Now, counterculture. With every new technological advancement, we see resistance and then we see some counterculture. All the kids now, as you see this phone, non-smartphones are back in. Wow, it became a trend on TikTok, which I don't understand. Like, how were they on TikTok and then got the non-smartphone? I don't know. But anyway, it made it cool, right? They were a little overwhelmed and they said, this is kind of cool in an ironic way. Typewriters, cool again. All sorts of things, record players. I mean, those always were cool. But we see this kind of counterculture that happens with technology. Now, we're going to see this with AI as well. And as we said, companies and universities across the board need to have policies, right? And positions. Well, it's predicted that actually 20% by 2027 of companies and brands are going to adopt an AI free market positioning. Okay. Intentionally, no AI. Okay. And I think from a consumer base, this is an anecdotal idea of mine, but we're going to see a return to value and authenticity and handcraftsmanship. Very cool. This is good. This is good news, especially from sustainability, right? So, counterculture. It's already starting to take form, but we're going to see more and more of it intentionally done. Now, AI approachability. When AI came on the scene, even 30 years ago, we've been so worried about the robots taking over the world. I don't even know how many action movies there are where robots take over the world is the plot. Well, a lot. Well, as you saw when AI launched into the market, the LLMs, ChatGPT, it was called a chat bot, right? The word bot. But bots are kind of scary, like we said, right? So if you've noticed, there's been a subtle shift to calling AI assistants. Now, this is really interesting. It's a subtle nuance, but assistants are easier to understand, more human, and more approachable. Now, I'm not saying that AI is human, but I'm saying from a language perspective, communicating to the public. I would trust something called an assistant more than a bot, right? Okay, so what's next? We also have agents. Agents, the new cool word if you want to sound cool. Slight nuance, but for the most part, you can use agent as well. Now, CES, the largest tech conference in the world, had many different advancements, but I wanted to call out three totally unique products that were launched. Copilot was a huge launch that happened, a new iteration of the technology, Microsoft's new AI assistant. Bali by Samsung. This is a home device, very Jetson-esque. Anybody's old enough to know the Jetsons, where this robot will crawl and roll around your house. It's in a device and it will project things on the wall, help you with small tasks. This is a huge piece of technology that Samsung is investing in. It's actually their second iteration, so they're launching it again. And very cool, Rabbit R1, which is a wearable device, which is intended to kind of take over the smartphone world and be app agnostic. So the big concept here that they're talking about is what's called LAM, large action model. So what they're trying to do, instead of being text prompt, they're trying to recognize different processes in your phone to be able to go above the app experience. So they're actually trying to follow your flow to be able to actually order an Uber. LLMs can't actually order an Uber or book a trip for you. This will actually be able to do that for you. So totally different technologies. What's unique about them? What's the same? Well, they were all communicated as companions. And if we think about companionship, that's a huge difference from a bot and an agent. And this is truly the future. As we think about the next generations being born today, their experience with AI will be completely indetectable and normal to them. It will be in their house, in their phone, on their body, everywhere around them. So, as we think about how this could change, your imaginary friend isn't so imaginary anymore, right? I don't know if any of you have young children, but they like, hey Siri, Alexa, play the song. So they'll actually be having conversations and communication with AI at all times. And although there are so many questions, ethics, legalities, things that we don't even know are challenges, we don't know what we don't know. I choose to wake up every day and approach this learning as with optimism and positivity. And I encourage you all to do the same. Thank you so much.